Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
Kalki release in Japan. Okay, this must be some reference that I don't know.
Yeah.
क्लास में थोड़ा सा और ध्यान देना चाहिए था. Do you watch anime?
I do.
Which one?
I mean, still old school, but I love Naruto.
Oh. नमस्ते, मेरे चैनल में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. मेरा नाम है. कैसे हैं? आपको पता है कल्कि 2898 अभी जापान में रिलीज होने वाला है. जापान में इतना ज्यादा इंडिया मूवीज नहीं मिलते हैं, लेकिन इस बार ये मूवी जापान में रिलीज होने वाली है और मैं डायरेक्टर नागी जी से इंटरव्यू करने जा रही हूँ. सच्ची बताऊं तो प्रभास जी को भी इंटरव्यू करने जा रही थी, लेकिन प्रभास जी को नई मूवी के शूटिंग में चोट लगी है और इस बार जापान ट्रिप का कैंसिल हो गया था. ऑफ कोर्स मैं दुख हो गई, पर मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ प्रभास जी जल्दी जल्दी ठीक हो जाएं और इस बार नागी जी से अच्छे से इंटरव्यू करने जा रही हूँ. ठीक है, तो शुरू करें.
So good, thank you. Thank you.
Today we have a special guest, Nagi sir, the director of Kalki. So thank you so much for coming to my channel and
Thank you.
welcome to Japan.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
So when did you arrive to Japan?
We just came yesterday, yesterday morning.
Okay,
Yeah.
and did you explore the city?
A little bit. We just took the train around town,
Okay.
went to Shibuya, cause
Yeah.
just to see,
Repulsing.
just to see the crowd again.
Oh, very nice. Is this your first time coming to Japan?
It is my first time, yeah.
Okay, so I hope you can enjoy here. How many days will you stay here?
We're here for 4 or 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
Kalki release in Japan.
Yeah.
I watched it multiple times and I was blown away, like how new and like how big scale it is, how new concept. It was amazing and I have so many questions to you. So let's dive in. So first of all, Kalki is about the future of Mahabharata and there are so many TV series and movies of Mahabharata, but this is, I would say, first grand attempt of creating the future story of Mahabharata.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with this new idea?
Yeah, I mean, definitely because I was growing up watching or reading like small comics of the Mahabharata. It was on TV, like you said. So it's an epic and it's larger than life. But there are stories in the Mahabharata that are unfinished, like Ashwadhama's story. So Ashwadhama has done something wrong and he has received a curse. But what happens after that? So we don't know the end of that story. So I thought it'll be very interesting to write.
Yes, truly, indeed, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And obviously it's gods related movie, and when any gods are related, it might be a little bit tricky. In the past there are many movies that faced criticism or lawsuits because of the interpretation or adaptation. I can't judge because I don't know enough Mahabharata, but according to the internet, people loved your adaptation. So how did you manage it? Was it difficult, and how was the research process?
Like I said, we grow up with so many versions of the Mahabharata, so we already have a lot of the story in our subconscious, and it's a massive book. So reading that huge book was the research. Was the research. But what we are attempting in this film is like a sequel to the Mahabharata, so it's not been written. So when you're writing that, we just write it with a lot of respect and with a lot of honesty, without trying to manipulate for our reason, and just try to understand what could have happened in that story. And that's what we did, and thankfully the people also liked it. Yeah.
I'm sure like 99% loved your interpretation, adaptation, your story.
Right.
But in 2024, in social media, anyone can say anything.
Right.
And have you received any different views or criticism? Like, do you read these comments on social media?
I did some of them during release for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, nothing too hard to digest, I think. I think it was like, for people who have seen the movie, they'll see that there are these two great warriors from the Mahabharata who fight with each other in the end. And so the discussion is who is more powerful. So I feel that discussion and the comparison has been going on for years, for centuries, even before the film came out. So it's like whenever you have two heroes, you'll always discuss who is more powerful.
I see.
So it'll always be fan wars. So I think it's
very
not
interesting.
because of Kalki. I think it's always been there.
So now I want to talk about releasing Kalki internationally in Japan. So I'm gonna be very honest.
Yeah.
So I majored in Hindi. मुझे
Right.
हिंदी आती है और हिंदी में महाभारत भी थोड़ा सा मतलब पूरा नहीं थोड़ा सा पढ़ चुकी हूँ ठीक है.
Okay.
And when I saw the movie for the first time, I really enjoyed, but at the same time I felt like okay, this must be some reference that I don't know. And मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
Yeah.
क्लास में थोड़ा सा और ध्यान देना चाहिए था. ऐसा मतलब I felt like there are some elements that
Yeah.
I'm not understanding, and probably I can enjoy more if I knew. So now that Kalki is being released in Japan, and probably most people haven't read Mahabharata yet. So what is your expectations from Japanese audience? How do you think they will react and enjoy?
I think the movie is made in such a way that even if you don't get some small references, even if you know nothing about Mahabharata, you can still watch the movie and enjoy it like a movie and understand everything because like Ashwadama is set up, you know what you need to know about him, you know what you need to know about Arjuna. It's enough. But when you finish watching the movie, I think you'll want to learn something more. So
Yes,
you'll go
exactly.
and you'll read or you'll watch and then you'll watch the movie again.
Yeah.
And then when you see it the second time, you're like, oh, okay, there's so much more. And then somebody will tell you something, and then you watch it a third time. So I think this movie is something that you don't need to know, but you'll want to know more.
No homework necessary, just go and watch. Understood.
Yeah.
And for those who want to learn more about this movie, probably before watching or after watching, do you have any suggestions like how much we should know and which material or other movies maybe we should watch to understand better?
I personally think that if you watch the movie without knowing anything, it's an experience. There might be some questions that you have, like how do they know each other? What is this thing? Which is a very simple Google search, which you can read literally in 10 minutes. If the interest or the passion is there, then I think people will buy Mahabharata books. They will buy the Japanese translation
version,
and they'll read it because it is a great story. It's greater than any story I can write. So that interest will be there, but even without knowing anything, I think people will enjoy the movie for what it is.
And I think this movie will make the Mahabharata and the other Indian cultures knowledge, spread to the world, including Japan. So I think it's
I think
a
so.
very
Yeah.
meaningful and great movie. So
Thank
that
you.
would be nice. What's your favorite Indian food?
Tandoori chicken.
Tandoori chicken. Okay. Do you have any Japanese food that you want to try this time?
Ramen.
Ramen?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
something I really enjoy.
Okay. Do you watch anime?
I do.
Which one?
I mean, still old school, but I love Naruto.
Oh, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
being dubbed in Hindi as well recently. In India.
Yeah, it was. I watched it in English when it was dubbed in English, but it's in Hindi now, is it?
Since when? Yes, now it's in Hindi and broadcasting in TV as well in Hindi.
Oh, yeah.
But when did you watch it?
10 years ago?
Oh, so you were anime.
12 years ago, yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. If you are in the world of Kalki, as which character you want to live in?
Not because he's the hero, but I really like Bhairava character
Okay.
because he's just fun. He's just so much fun. He's very real, like the people. He's lazy when he wants to. He'll only work. He's thinking about himself. He has a really cool car.
True,
So yeah,
And nice lady as well.
nice ladies around him. Yeah, and he's so much fun. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's talk about the casting.
Yeah.
Shall I call this Telugu movie or pan-India movie? What's your opinion?
I just think Indian movie. Yeah.
Indian movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
just Indian.
And this casting is, huge.
It is.
Heroes from Telugu and Deepika and Amitabh Bachchan are from Bollywood mainly, and Chatterjee is Bengali.
He's Bengali.
It's pan-India movie, I understand, but if I think logically, it sounds crazy because they speak different languages,
Yeah.
but they act together
Yeah.
and create movie together.
Yeah.
So why did you choose those different actors who speak different languages? Is that because if you choose the actor who suits the best to the character, it automatically, naturally it became like that? Or
Yeah.
that was your intention that you wanted to make a pan-India movie?
No, I mean, I definitely wanted to get the best actor for the role. Like, Shashwata Chatterjee is an amazing actor. Like, even if he wasn't Bengali, he's a great actor. Like, Annabelle, who plays Kyra, Like she's amazing. So she's from Malayalam. I think we just tried to get the best actor for the parts, and just because we have so many film industries in India, it just happens to be that we can choose people from all over the country.
That's amazing if you think about it. But then I'm curious, like, do they all act in Telugu? Or?
Yeah. So we made the film in Telugu first, Telugu and Hindi. Mainly Telugu, few important scenes we also shot in Hindi, and everything else we dubbed. So everybody would be speaking their lines in Telugu.
So Amitabh Bachchan is speaking Telugu
In some scenes.
while acting,
Yes,
right?
in some scenes.
That's amazing.
That's
like
amazing,
being an actor in India is a lot of work. You have to obviously you have to know the acting and then dance and just speak multiple languages. Like
Yeah.
it's a very talented people.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the budget. It is the highest budget Indian movie in India, correct? 600 crore.
I think we're pretty much there.
It's crazy amount. And I did a little bit of Google. Highest budget movie in Japan was 800 crore, but it was crore rupees, made in 2001. Okay, the second highest was 350 crore. So I can say for the past 20 years, there hasn't no any movie which was higher than 400 crore rupees.
Right.
What you have done with 600 crore and making science fiction movie, only limited countries can do that.
For sure.
Yes, and then when it comes to Indian movie industry, it's only growing. The budget is increasing like crazy, and the technology is obviously growing, and the talents are amazing. This is very simple question to you. When do you plan to surpass the Hollywood in terms of budget and box office? Because you are the right person to ask, right? You are 38 years old. You are very young and just created the highest budget movie. And there's only going up. And when
part
it comes
two.
Part two.
Part two will be fun.
Right answer.
I mean, they are the biggest actors in the country.
Yes.
So that's a big chunk.
Yes.
And the most expensive, like this car cost so much money.
How much did it cost?
In rupees, I would say about 5 crores. Then a lot of VFX, that was huge. So yeah, it was something that we also in India have not done before. So for us, it was very new, and we're just happy that it worked and everyone's appreciating it.
So in Kalki, if I'm not wrong, there was some Japanese written in the set.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I was right. Also, in the title Kalki, it is shown in multiple languages, right? So what was the intention behind including other languages and Japanese language in the set?
I mean, the idea that the movie is in one world where there's no more nations, there's only one supreme complex, and everybody is living together, like humanity is living together, and they're in the same street, the same city, they're just fighting for survival. So if there is such a city like Kasi in the world, then everyone will live together. There'll be like all cultures, all languages, even in Shambhala, the idea was that in a very different way. But there they're protecting their traditions and their religions. They're protecting it in Shambhala. In Kasi, they're just living for their sustenance.
It was very nice to find the Japanese character. How many Japanese characters, if you remember, exist in movie? Maybe,
in the movie?
Yeah, people can play this, hide and seek.
I can't remember, but I'm sure at least 2 or 3 times you'll see there are definitely some people that we've cast, like people that are in Kasi that were Japanese who were studying in Hyderabad. So we use them in the shoot as background actors, but yeah.
Now, I want to talk about something that was not there in the movie, which is dancing. Okay, so I understand there are in the movies that have dance and that don't have dance. And in the movie, when Vailava sneaked into complex and went to this party, and there was a song, and he was kind of dancing, but you didn't make it as a proper dance scene. So what was the thought behind it?
I just wanted to be honest, just have one little bit of dance and wanted to find a way to make it into the story without seeming like a sudden jump. Like suddenly they go into one dream song. So in the story, he goes into a party, and in the party there is a chance for him to do one small step, and maybe it won't feel very unnatural, was the idea. But that's why it was a very small piece of dancing.
Understood.
Yeah.
And when it comes to marketing point of view, probably having dance will help as a
It
movie.
will,
Like,
for
what do
sure.
you think?
Songs are very big in India. Like having a song in the movie is a big marketing tool. So we didn't have that. So that was a big risk.
But you are confident that the movie itself is good enough.
Yeah, and I didn't know, I couldn't sneak in songs. There was no scope in a movie like this. Yeah, even that little bit of dance was like a lot of thought. Should we not?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit about part 2 of
Right,
Kalki.
right.
So how much did you create in your mind?
We have a rough story, actually a pretty solid story, because we were going to shoot it together with part 1, and we shot, I think, 20 days of the film.
Oh, you did already.
Yeah, when we were shooting part 1, but then we stopped it and concentrated more on part 1. So we have a story, we just have to do the finishing touches.
Do you have the rough timeline that you have in mind, or you haven't shared with anybody yet?
It's still some things in the air.
Discussion,
In the
okay.
air, yeah, we have to finish it. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. The producer of this film is your wife.
Yes, family.
And very great power couple that every couple are,
Yeah.
should learn from.
Yeah.
So how was the experience of working with your wife as a producer?
It's very good and sometimes very hard.
Yeah.
but it's also my wife and also her sister, so it's like a 3 of us. So it's actually a power triple. So it's a power triple that we work since my first film. It's the 3 of us that work together as a team. So each of us are really good at what we do, very specific skill sets or talents. So we support each other. And
Amazing.
Yeah. So
You don't
that's
fight?
we do all the time.
do?
All the time.
Who wins?
The film, hopefully.
It's a great answer.
Konnichiwa minasan, Nag Ashwin desu, Kalki mitene. Daisuki.
Thank you so much. Okay, so maybe we can take photo and
तो आपको इंटरव्यू कैसा लगा? ऑब्वियसली मैं तो बहुत नर्वस हो गई थी, मतलब बड़े बड़े डायरेक्टर से इंटरव्यू करने जा रही थी, लेकिन वो नागी जी बहुत दयाल और अच्छे से सवाल के जवाब दे रहे थे, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। तो उम्मीद करती हूँ आपको मज़ा आया होगा, और देखते हैं जापानीज़ लोगों को ये मूवी कैसी लगी। ठीक है, तो आज के लिए इतना ही। अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो लाइक और सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कीजिए। मेरे वीडियो देखने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। फिर मिलेंगे, बाय बाय।